master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
We're exporting a whole lot of really bad and dangerous rhetoric, bad research, and unfortunately it's being picked up and amplified in other countries.
It's the same battle, Mr. Myers. We've been at it before. They want to addict these kids, this time to an e-cigarette, which has a chemical that's addictive. We know what it leads to. Sadly, it leads to tobacco addiction, disease, and death.
I'm going to get you addicted to nicotine. I have a customer for life. We have hundreds of cases nationwide where people have gotten sick or died using these devices.
Look what they're trying to do. All the delicious flavors of e-cigarettes are poison.
They're not people giving up smoking. They're not people that ever smoked before. Most people that vape never smoked before. Just think if your kid was doing this and winds up with an IQ 10 or 15 points lower than he or she would have had for the rest of her life.
Addiction is being fueled by kid-friendly flavors and kid-friendly cool marketing. It is outrageous that these companies specifically market their bad products to kids. Today, right now, it would appear the wildfire of e-cig use among teenagers, high schoolers, middle schoolers has not let up.
There is a moral panic over it.
There is a moral panic,
and they can't find anything wrong with it, so they're hell-bent to find something.
We're worried that, in fact, a lot of members of the public still think that using an e-cigarette is as harmful as smoking a cigarette. So, I mean, I have said that it would be tragic if smokers didn't quit and carried on smoking because they hadn't tried an e-cigarette, because they were worried about the safety of an e-cigarette.
The most disheartening thing is still the anti-choice rhetoric, the desire to enforce this quit or die mentality and refuse to allow individuals to reduce their risk unless they're willing to give up everything.
I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Friday, and we're here like every Friday. We're live right now on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitter via Periscope. You know, we're fancy now. We've got a whole bunch of different places to be. So how the hell is everybody doing? It's it's Friday night, and this week there's been a whole bunch of stuff going on, and you know what? I just figured, I would have one of my really chill friends to come on the show so that we could just chillax and just talk and have some fun. But before I bring him on, I guess I'll bring in the Ginger from Ohio. And let's go ahead and get Kevin, Kevin in the room. Hey, Kevin.
The Ginger Nick Bot.
From Ohio.
Ohio Ginger Nick Bot. That'll work.
Yeah, I think I got the COVID. Did you hear me cough right there?
I don't want you to have the COVID because then I'm going to have to put on my mask. I'm a little excited about seeing Jay come on. I really am.
You're psyched. You're energetic. I mean, is this your excited face? Because
yes.
I can't really tell.
It's the same as my pissed off face. Because he's been around for a couple days, so I want to hear some stuff.
Well, are you saying that Jay's old?
No, I'm saying
that would be unkind to
could have been somebody else.
To refer to such a good friend of Smoke Free Radio and Son of Liberty Radio and the Smoker Show and all of the stuffs, all of the shows. You to call him old, man, that's not cool at all. So
let's bring him on for a rebuttal.
Since Jay and I like the same hats, the same style of hats. Mm-hmm. He's already my hat brother. So, anyway, yes, we're going to have one of the other pawns because we had RJ on a long time ago, like way back, like one of the very first video shows that we ever did. We had RJ. He's one of the pawns or was one of the, I don't know what the whole situation, but RJ Jarabak has been here and he was one of the 5 pawns dudes. And Anyway, so let's bring on J Love. You know, he's got that Love name. So Jay is Love. Let's bring him on. Oh.
I heard some coughing. I don't want to get the Rona from anyone over the airwaves. How are you doing?
You know, I could infect your computer with a virus. You know that.
I know. How are you, gentlemen? Thank you so much for letting me be here. First of all, I'll tell you, listen to David Gerlitz last week, just restoked the fire. And I'm excited to be here with you guys. And I'll get old and grumpy. You called me old. I heard that.
That was the old man called you old.
This industry dates you. It's like dog years, right? I think we're going on 8 years. So it's 56 years in dog years. So I feel every bit of it. I shaved the other day just to get rid of all the grays.
So you know what's really funny though is I was going through all of the different medias that I had to find, because you know I do this really cool thing every week where I do a new title piece, and you know I fix it with the intro music and everything, and you know this is kind of what we've been doing for all of the shows in the last couple months, is you know keeping it kind of a uniform brand and putting the host putting the guest over here. And
I look like a chubby convict.
Finding a picture of you that is you know, you're almost as bad, because Kevin, this is like the only picture of Kevin that I had that was usable. Like this one is the only one.
I like the black and white. I like the class. It's classy. You're it's a breath of fresh air. Son of Liberty Radio. Congratulations on taking it over, and you're keeping us going. I love it.
But yeah, so that was the only good enough picture I had of you. You need to do some like high quality promo pictures for J Love the 5 Ponds.
Rona hairdo. Have you guys had haircuts since this whole thing went?
Well, we opened our hair salon, our hair salons or barbershops or whatever you want to call it. We opened ours up like months ago.
Oh yeah, we're behind.
So I've had like I've had 2 haircuts in the last month. So because I'm sort of a short hair person. You know, back in the 80s, I had hair down to my ass, but you know that was a long time ago.
Back in the summer of love.
Not that far. I'm not quite Kevin's age, but you know, Kevin remembers like the cowboys, you know, and the gunfights in the streets and stuff. But that, you know, that's a little before my time.
So, fellas, you've been doing this a while. We've had a lot happen this week. What are you doing to relax? I know you usually have a cocktail and you unwind a little bit. It's a little.
I do this. Hoosa.
I do the Ralph humana.
Well, and being a highly functioning alcoholic does help.
I actually took a break back in February. Stopped drinking. I knew I would go heavy on it. I've been drinking a ton of water. I've been trying to get out and just keep the mind fresh and exercise, but I can't. It's tough. I'll tell you. I can't tell you how many times I've really contemplated just taking it easy and having a cocktail. But right now, I'll be drinking water with you.
Well, I'm actually drinking tea tonight.
I'm drinking coffee.
I do love that mug, Jay.
Nice. Oh yeah.
I actually have one of those mugs, but I have not been allowed to use it since it came into the home. It has been confiscated by the wife. It is now the wife's cup.
That's good.
That's good.
I haven't gotten permission to use my own cup.
Kevin's so old he vapes dust. That's good. I like that one.
And so Ed West is in the chat room. Just to let you know, Jay, you can actually see the comments in all of the different chat places because people can leave comments. It's over on the right-hand side. I don't know what you can see. I think it says
Chris and Trish. We got Shannon Brown, Ed West, Victor. Hello, guys.
JD. Oh,
JD.
So,
Will, this is great. Thank you for joining us.
So Ed actually leaves a comment here. He says, just checking in to praise the best chocolate mint on the market.
Oh, thank you so much, Ed. Bones Mates, it's one of those palate resetters. I'm glad you found it.
I actually can't vape it, but chocolate's just not my thing.
Yeah, that's all right. Hey, that's why.
But I will tell you, King Side on the tobacco line is the faux shizzle. And actually, there was a lady in the chat about 2 or 3 weeks ago who was saying that she was looking for a strawberry rhubarb, and I said, "Give Symmetry 6 a try." I said, and I specifically said, 5 Ponds does not pay for any promotion on this network. So
thank you very much.
This is my opinion. Symmetry 6 is the shit. So
I'm going to say this on record, Kevin. I'm sending you a care package. I have yet to do that. So
now the absolute favorite, is one of those seasonal things that y'all do. And I had a bottle here on the table, and I must have put it away. But the Nona,
an old Kink song, Nona.
The Nona.
Yeah, we did a rendition of that song. I don't know if it got pulled off of YouTube or not, but it was fun. Yeah, that's a unique one. Pumpkin spice. You got a pumpkin bread pudding.
It's so fucking basic, is what it is, but it is still damn good.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you.
And I do have like the last 5 releases of Castle Long Reserve sitting steeping in the cabinet for special occasions. Those are for special.
Rodney, he's been deep into an endeavor with some spirits and some wine. He's got some really exciting stuff coming out, so keep your eyes open for that. But he is a master of the craft. He really dove in, and
he's a tasty guy. He likes taste. He's like very palatable.
It was so just precise in identifying different sensations that would allow people to identify with those. And if you don't like chocolate and mint, there's something else for you. It's a wide-ranging a variety of products.
Yeah, Absolute Pen is the bomb.
Yeah, and so he really went after the 5 flavors of the palate: bitter, salty, sour, sweet, and savory, or umami. And it's the 5 Ponds. It's not us. It's not anything. It's flavors, a taste sense. So he built the entire original series after that, and it's still going today. Hey, 2012 to now, something to be said. There's a lot of great companies out there. We're just humbled to be part of it, and try to legitimize this space. But it's been a long, crazy road. I know you guys can attest to that.
Well, since you brought up Long Crazy Road, 5 Ponds has been around since when?
2012. Toying around with it 2011, launched it 2012. The secret sauce back then was Reddit, right? Reddit was where people were talking about e-liquid. That was where it was at. And so Vince, who you guys know, may or may not know, he's a connoisseur. He's a fun guy. He's deep into Reddit, and we sent out samples to Reddit, and we wanted to get feedback, good, bad, or indifferent. Let's just get feedback. And we received a lot of feedback, some good, some bad, and some indifferent. And it was the beginning of something magical, right? Some people said, wow, I haven't tasted anything this deep or this profound, and there's been nothing like it on the market yet. I think you're onto something. And then we came out with pricing, and then Reddit started hating us. we have a few friends on Reddit, and I recently re-engaged yesterday, and we do have some fans that appreciate nostalgia, and they appreciate some things that we've done. So it's fun to go back and remember how we started, and from there it worked into some hands of some real retailers out in Oklahoma. I remember I was working kind of a day job, and I said, hey, this is profound. It helped me get off of chewing tobacco and cigarettes, and I was a big clove smoker. And I went and said, hey guys, let me at it. I'm ready. I believe in this. I really think it could change the trajectory of what tobacco's done, and some great people around us. We believe in mentors and surrounding yourself with good people. And they're like, tobacco, if it can truly help someone switch their lifestyle, you better go and you better go fast, right? And so that's what we did. And I said, if we can get 50 accounts, that'll mean we can pay some bills. We can get some. We did that. We thought that would take about a year. It took a month, 2 months, and we're off to the races. We stopped our other jobs. We all had different businesses at the time, and we put all our effort into this, and it grew into a fun experiment that is still going today. And I did some math, and it was like 14,000 hours. If you do 5 days a week, throughout the 7 years, 8 hours a day, it's you're a master of anything after 10,000 hours. But I don't feel like a master of anything with the way we get thrown so many curveballs in this industry.
Yeah. So you're actually there's a lot of us old guys that a lot of the the big e-liquid guys, not all, but a good chunk of them are those West Coast guys from the day. You had Vape Rev, really a big brand in California. I mean, they were. I ordered my first fancy mechanical mod was a roller from I still have it. I brought it out on the show a couple times, but I ordered that over the phone from Vape Rev. They took my credit card over the phone, and they sent me some standard, some pink spot, and Jameson, which was Lonnie also, but that was also a problematic issue, but that got us into trouble. But I mean, I ordered and I in the beginning, a lot of the big brands were California based brands. And I mean, there were a couple other places that had big brands, but that California guys, they had it figured out, the marketing,
Vapor,
I know that Lonnie came from he was like a tech job, but and you guys came from different fields, and you had been into different businesses and different industries before you came here. So you came with some sort of management skills kind of under your belt. I mean, there were a lot of people in the industry that just came in from other areas that had never really had any business background. Austin and those guys, they came from banking and different, but a lot of the guys in the industry were just hobbyists that had the opportunity to start businesses. And I mean, y'all might have had a little bit of a leg up compared to some people when it comes to running a business, for sure.
When creating a business, I think, most people would look at it and say, hey, surround yourself with people that are good at what you're not, masters and guys that are really proficient in the finances. So we have our CFO, Rob, who's really sharp. We've got our COO who's worked on FDA products in the past. I come from real estate and sales. My dad was a manufacturer, and I travel the country to the distributors and see the stores, and very similar to what we're doing here. And Rodney was aficionado and very skilled at manipulating flavor and basically organic chemistry, and diving in and really learning palettes, and it worked really well. We had a ton of fun playing off of each other, and that's how we built the business. And we looked at it as a hobby, but saw great potential, especially after the first few months and that Reddit push. So at that point, we took it seriously and really wanted to employ professional business tactics. And we were laughed at for quite a bit, like professionalism. We don't want that in this industry. That's ludicrous.
We want the wild, wild west.
Yeah, we don't want that. And so it was great to run into guys like Lonnie, because he's very sharp. He may go to the shows and throw a big soiree and act a little nuts, but he's a sharp businessman, and it was great to see those guys. He was an originator. He and Rich and Lisa from Villain Vapors, they were the old school. They were in this for quite a while. So it's good to see that they're still in it as well. But there's been a lot of great, Naked came out and shook everything up. I remember the day I was at Paul Davey He had a shop, the Vapor Loft, I believe it was, and then they turned into ejuices.co and moved to Nevada because California is tough to do business in. We all know that. But I remember Carlos coming in and saying, "Hey, you got to see this. It's a 60 ml bottle for the same price as your 30. This is going to shake everything up." Look at what happened, right?
And it did.
Sure did.
It did.
And they're great guys. They're great guys. They do a ton for advocacy. And there's plenty of room, right? There's 38 million adult smokers. There's a lane for everybody, and we'll fight for them. And you fight for them, and we're all fighting this battle of the massive opposition to this, despite there being some bad characters and always having cartoons thrown up when we're up there at the stand trying to profess our case of, harm reduction. So it's tough, right? We have to defend everybody. There's not defending a portion of harm reduction. You defend all of harm reduction if you're going for it. And you guys have been doing that. And
you compete in the marketplace. You compete to, for shelf space. You compete, but when it comes to showing up at hearings, that's the point where, you show solidarity. It's been maybe a year, 2 years ago, the big California meeting.
Holy smokes. We've had plenty. We had SB 140.
I think the last one was Fig. You were there. It was a hearing for something, and like 30 companies showed up in California. Yeah, 30.
Well, Doug Hughes, there was these guys at Lucky Deuces. It was in Redondo Beach, and Erica showed up from Local Vape, and Lonnie, and there was always a crew of people that would go to the ESFADA meetings, and we raised $60,000 at one meeting of the mines, right? A bunch of manufacturers and stores got together, and there was a lot of solidarity. So that was exciting. That was
I was ordering Doug Hughes's beard oil for a long time.
Oh, really? So it was a different time. There's a lot of division, obviously, now. There's a lot of confusion. But I think one thing we're not confused about is that there are smokers, and we've lost our focus on helping smokers convert. And, I really could care less if you like to direct lung vape or mouth to lung vape. You're not
Vaping's vaping, right?
You're not smoking. And we love you all, and let's improve our lives. And that's kind of what's going into COVID, right? How can we kind of improve our life? I'm looking at, we all started vaping to improve our life in one way or another, and especially with our lungs and health. I'm riding bikes. My surfing's good. I can hold my breath for a long time. I feel great. I ran some races. And so, if we can work through this and keep fighting and keep products on the market for another month, another 6 months, another year, and just keep going, this is all going to become evident that there's opposition to this that's misguided, whether they're lazy and they just aren't getting enough quality information, or they're nefarious and they're doing this on purpose. Your intro really riled me up because you really hit a lot of points, all those people. But I think it's laziness. I think they're being fed information. I know they're being fed information because I was at our local Irvine City Council meeting, and the mayor was there, and the city attorney pulls out a sheet, handed it out to everybody on City Council, and it was all from 2017. It was Candy King. It was the children. It was all the same talking points. And luckily, we came armed with current data, current science, and we're able to say, hey, you're basing this decision off of old information, obviously circulated through every municipality and all through everywhere in government in the United States. Let us present you with the 2018 National Academy of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine that they found completely switching to e-cigs. They found substantial evidence that completely switching results in reduced short-term health outcomes, to the organ systems. And then in 2019, American Cancer Society found that e-cigarette use is likely to be significantly less harmful than smoking. So there's more science, and they're basing a lot of their decisions and removing adult choice based on old data. And it's really sad. And like Bill Tarling said, I believe it was on your show, it could have been Regulator Watch, we need to get on offense like the ants are. right? And it's PR. It's a big machine. But we didn't get millions of dollars from Bloomberg, right? We were not funded like that. So it's tough to get our message out there, but I'm optimistic. And I know we took a turn right into the deep and heavy stuff, right? But
right.
I get passionate. You guys are passionate about it. I'm passionate about it, man. It's just, we've been doing this long enough. I could go and get into back into real estate, do something and probably make more money and live a different lifestyle. But I love this. I really wake up and it's always a little different every morning. What are we going to do? How do we survive this? How do we help our stores, who are the most passionate business owners I've ever met, survive another day, to help another smoker to get through this nonsense and have it become normal? That's the new normal for me, is when e-cigarettes become harm reduction and adult smokers look at this as a better alternative. Right now, they're being scared away from it. It's pathetic. It's horrible.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've cited it here on the show multiple times. Right. In 16, they surveyed people, and 70% of the people that were, that responded said, we know that e-cigarettes are safer than cigarettes. And 2 years later, they repeated the same poll. Yep. 70% of the people polled knew that vaping was more harmful than smoking. So, yeah, I mean, those people, the hearts and the minds of the people, the never smokers, the people that don't vape, those are the people that we absolutely need. Because, this week I've been hammering Donald Trump left and right on Twitter, just fucking hammering him. And, people need to realize, as much as we want this to be important to him, I don't think that he cares. I absolutely don't think he cares, because he's had since September, Azar, who is right up his ass. Azar's afraid for his job. Is nose up, tits up, tits out. Azar hasn't done. He's made promises. He's done everything that he can to not offer a lifeline to it. Obviously, he offered premium cigars a handout, and I love cigars. I just spent a whole bunch of money buying tobacco extracts so that I can work on my own tobacco flavor, or my own cigar flavor.
Whole tobacco alkaloids? Are you doing?
No. These are not nets or whole tobacco alkaloids. I'm trying to make it as safe as possible. And I love nets. I vape a lot of nets, but they also kill the fuck out of coils. So, trying to find the right extract that will not destroy a coil in 2 days, is what I'm working at. Plus, it has to taste right. And I've been working on this for a while, and I've perfected my bourbon custard tobacco, but I have not quite.
That was delicious.
I have not gotten the cigar one yet, but it's coming. But anyway, I mean, they essentially said, "Hey, DOJ, could you ask Judge Grimm for permission for us to be a little bit lenient on the cigar industry, on their PMTAs, so that we can focus on putting the hammer down on vaping? And also, as part of your request, let Judge Grimm know that we're going to spend millions of taxpayer dollars on developing science that the cigar industry can use for their PMTAs."
Good comment.
Collaborative.
Yeah. So, I'm a little bit bitter about that. I'm kind of raw because, like I said, I love cigars. I used to fucking spend $30 a night on cigars when I would go to the cigar shop and just hang out and drink and smoke cigars. But that industry is way bigger than us. Way bigger than us. General Cigar is a huge fucking company.
Yeah.
And they brand a lot of shit. They got Cohiba. They got And all these premium cigar brands are making billions of dollars. These guys have huge plantations in Nicaragua and Ecuador and Colombia, and not Colombia, but
and some of them have predicate product. And we went to IPCPR and actually displayed there. We have all these antique vintage prune crates. I don't know if you've seen our
I've seen your booth, yeah.
Our booth, and
it's beautiful.
We just kept it classy, and we wanted to get into the cigar aficionado realm and thought we'd give it a try. And man, the amount of hate they had for our industry, we took it on the chin for everyone. And we sat down with them. You have to learn to understand where your opposition's coming from in order to have a reasonable argument to say anything that may change their mind. And after we sat down with them, we got to understand them a little bit. And because of our industry, they believe that the PMTA was thrown upon them. And they put a lot of blame on the electronic cigarette industry and our form of nicotine delivery. And it was humbling, but at the same time, we made some great friends, and they have a strong industry, their trade shows are absolutely beautiful, and some predicate product, but they had a lot of new products that they have to get PMTAs on. They were not happy at all. So they were pushing hard. And, one thing you said was Trump doesn't want to deal with it, or Azar doesn't want to deal with it. He does want to deal with votes, though. And so what Paul said in the chat here is they closed down the phone lines. Thank goodness, we've got guys like Sherwin Mena and Tristan and Salter, these guys that are pushing, the event on September 5th, which if anyone can get to that, we need to go in big numbers. It would be wonderful to show support on the 5th when PMTAs are dropping on the 9th. But it's great to have those guys, getting campaigns to get consumers involved, because we can't do this as an industry without the consumers that are benefiting from this or that have family that could benefit from in the future. This is worthy of protest. This is worthy of getting upset about. This is public health, right? So it's great to have groups that are promoting a message of getting off your ass and writing and contacting the White House, contacting your elected representatives, educating them. I prefer to take a stance that they're misguided and they don't have enough info, and maybe they're lazy and they're busy with other things and they're not nefarious and evil and doing the wrong thing. Some people will go at that as, a different way. And we know MSA payments are in there, but we have to work with them and just overwhelm them. The cigar industry didn't come at them with a lot of that. They came at them with
checks.
Strategy. Yeah, and probably a lot of money. But, we have to come in with votes and the threat of votes, and we have an election season, and I really don't see there being any other opportunity. And with that being said, we got S1253, which could eliminate all USPS deliveries, and many other things can stem off of that, but that's massive. That was a unanimous vote by the Senate, so that's likely going to go through the House, and a veto by the president's probably unlikely unless we get really, really, really loud.
Well, that bill alone it's kind of hinky, and if you read it one way, it's like, okay,
yeah,
so this is what we want, but we're not going to give. There's no money allocated for this bill.
Good.
And then they say, well, we're going to do we're ordering you to do some research and study. So, is this bill actually going to do anything, because there's no money in it, and you got to conduct the research and stuff before the bill actually is enacted. I think that's one of the reasons why it was a sort of a universal consent, because of the nature of the bill. I mean, and then obviously if you read it the other way, it's like, okay, they're pulling everything out of USPS. But then obviously then the president announced that he was not going to fund USPS.
Right.
So you're like, okay, that's a big fish, or that's a big thing that I need to worry about, but it's a big thing I don't need to worry about this minute.
If they can quantify how much we spend with USPS, which we did when we went and met with the OMB and the FDA and that whole process, it's a considerable amount of money going through the USPS, through this industry. So let's hope that they come to their senses a little bit, and we can avoid that bullet, because we're avoiding bullets, and that would be a big one.
And then obviously the Kuthrapali or whatever bill, like he's screaming right now in all media that the government should just ban all flavored vapor products during the COVID pandemic.
I can't pronounce his name. Democrat out of Illinois wanted everything washed, everything out of the market. Good
everything,
luck, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my buddy Roger.
Fire up some of our base. Holy
we've banged him. I can't say his name, and I'm it's not and please, everybody that's on this show knows the love that I have for Indian vapors and their plight. Absolutely. I just can't say his name. It's not because I'm like trying to be Trump and mispronounce somebody's name on purpose. Raja, I can't. I can say Raja. It's that last name. I know. Krishna something. I can't say the rest.
I can't either.
But David,
all hate mail gets sent to hashtag Nutto over there. So hey, I wanted to show something. I wanted to show you guys something that I saw on Twitter, and I didn't create this. And Pippa, who was watching the show last week, actually tweeted it. And it kind of talks about, and it kind of like at this point, it kind of matches the brand that we've been pushing. We will go to any length to help a smoker after doomsday, and we're flying the fucking pirate flag, and we're gonna fight until there's either I'm dead or bodies are on the battlefield. But I saw this and I thought this is perfect for tonight's show. It is about 3 minutes long, so y'all just sit back and relax for a minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna fill up my tank.
And just give this an eye. Ready, set, go.
The Almighty says this must be a fashionable fight. It's drawn the finest people. Where is thy salute?
For defending vaping in your homelands, I give you thanks.
This is our army. To join it, you give homage.
I give homage to vaping. And if this is your army, why does it compromise?
We didn't come here to fight for them!
Oh! The English are too many!
Yo, Vapor Peeps! Vapor Man here!
William Wallace is 7 feet tall.
Yes, I've heard. Smoking kills by the millions. And if he were here, he'd consume the enemy with batteries from his eyes and clouds of vapor from his arse. No, I'm just a vapor man. And I see a whole army of ex-smokers here in defiance of tyranny. You've come to fight as ex-smokers. And ex-smokers you are. What will you do without vaping? Will you go back to smoking?
Right? Against that? No! We will run! And we will live.
Aye. Stock up your freezes. Vape. And you live. At least for a while. And vaping in your beds many years from now. Would you be willing to trade all the devices from this to that for one chance, just one chance to come back here and tell our Puritan enemies that they can have our smokes, but they'll never take our vapor! Milk is a gateway to cocaine!
They seem quite optimistic to me. Maybe they do want to fight.
Confrontation might be a foregone conclusion, my lord. But nonetheless, I think we should deliver the King's terms.
King's terms? We'll never live up to them.
My lord, I think...
All right. Offer them the terms.
great.
That was awesome. I've never
that was
great.
I think it's new. I think it's pretty brand new. Paul says it's a guy from Australia that created a Vapor Man.
We'll run and hide.
It was.
They'll never take our vapor.
It was damn good, and you know, obviously it's kind of funny, but yeah, I mean, we need to be in that fucking Braveheart, like, you know, holding the damn sword up above our head and screaming freedom, you know. But you know, yeah, I mean. On the video, the intro video, the one of the last things that's on there is it's Julie Wassner talking, but the caption that I created said, you know, people shouldn't have to ask the government for permission to save themselves. You know, and that we're at the stage now where they're basically saying, you can't save yourself. You have to die.
Yeah,
you know, the quit or die
mentality, right?
And they're that's the only choice that we're given is quit or die, and they don't really care which one of those options you choose, but they don't want you to choose anything other than quit or die, because they make money from you if you quit, because their pharmaceutical guys are getting money, and if you don't quit, their tobacco guys are getting money. And they're getting, you know, either way, they're getting money. So yeah, Paul threw the link for the actual video, the YouTube video, on the in the chat room. But yeah, I mean, it's sad. It's sad to me, you know, that we're at this stage, and you know, this industry was started by guys like, you know, back in, you know, in 2012 when you guys started, and you know, 2013 a bunch of guys started. 2014, you talk about some of these guys have been in business for 6, 7, 8 years. We, you know, built the industry. You know, the consumers that bought the product from the guys that started, and the guys that started, we built this. This is a consumer-driven industry. Industry doesn't make decisions without finding a consumer to suit that. You know, people wanted. What's a good question,
Jay? How many consumers in the beginning were influential in helping you guys with flavors, as in, like, hey, I want a bourbon peach, you know, or whatever.
You know, I'd love to say that, you know, we had some focus groups on the next round of mixology to help us guide where we're going, but he was pretty steadfast in how he developed flavors. And he didn't have much input. We didn't have much input. Oh, there you go. Look at you. We didn't have much input when it came to how those flavors were going to come out. Later on, Black Flag Fallen, Black Flag Risen, we tried it a lot, and we had input. And customers would come to the tasting bar, and we would have close customers that we really knew had a good palate, and were also represented a large swath of the customer base. And Vince knew a lot about what was going on at the time. And so it was collective, but not really. You know, Rodney really had a goal in mind, and he had certain complementary flavors. He had a flavor Bible called the Flavor Bible that he always worked with. And yeah, it was pretty much him. But I'd love to say it was a lot of consumer input. It wasn't until later that we really took a lot of that into consideration. Strawberry is number one. You remember Suicide Bunny was the strawberry.
Yep.
Help me out.
Strawberry milk, strawberry custard, strawberry.
Yeah. What was the name of it? Someone.
Mother's Milk.
Mother's Milk. Yes. Oh, I love them. They're just great people. But, you know, strawberry is the number one flavor, and we didn't come out with a strawberry.
Not right away.
Not right away. And then we have the strawberry rhubarb, which is a little unique. You know, you have a tart rhubarb in there, kind of threw it sideways and in a good way for a lot of people. But
well, you know, Sapir's in the chat room, and he actually has a damn good strawberry too.
Sapir's legendary in my book. He's got some
and he says that I threw his comment right on the screen for you. It says he loves Jay's perspective. Always. Jay loves perspective or loves Jay's perspective. Either way, it works.
and I try not to be political, and that's the only perspective he doesn't like, if it's anything one way or the other. But I'm apolitical. I'm Canadian. I don't know if you knew that, but I'm Canadian.
You know, one of my favorite songs is "Blame Canada."
Blame Canada for everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Sapir's got a good strawberry and cream. It's O-Face. Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah, he's amazing.
Damn good.
There's so many great people in this industry. We have a community of just people from all over, every walk of life, every nationality, that have created legendary flavors that have helped so many people. And so, yeah, that quit or die mentality, we have to overturn that. We've got to normalize.
I've been to vape events, not as many as some, and probably not a lot if you start looking at it, but I've probably been to 15, 20 vape events over the years. And, it's always funny because you go to a vape event, you think people are going to be, buy my stuff, don't buy it. But, and everybody at those events, their only goal is to get their product into the hands of people who either vape or smoke, right? I mean, that we want you to take our product out into the world, tell smokers how awesome it is, because you can get rid of all the other crap, all of the division, all of the, what separates us. You get rid of all that other crap, and at its core, whether you're in the industry or you're me or Kevin, because neither one of us are in the industry, or a lot of the people.
You're very much from the industry, boys. I know.
We don't work in the industry, okay?
Right.
We don't work in the industry, but
Patrick's a way bigger shill than I am.
Everybody.
Oh, your voice on Twitter, Kevin. In this industry, we need you, brother. We need you.
See, that makes me feel better. But see, I'm the loudmouth drunk Uncle Bob on Twitter.
Don't sit on Uncle Bob's lap.
You are the voice of reason, one of the voices of reason on the business side. So I can just do my thing, and you guys really don't give a shit. You probably do this on occasion, but I don't care. It's to motivate, like the Braveheart thing, So
to get rid of the quit or die mentality, we need everybody. Everybody is part of this industry. Everybody's part of the movement. Everybody's part of changing the rhetoric, the false narrative. Louder, baby. Yeah. But yeah, it's everybody has a voice. I get it.
Back to the thing that I was saying was, at its core, you take all that other shit away. Everybody in this industry, consumer, whether you're in the show listening or you're in the business, most, if not everybody, wants to save this industry for the smoker.
Yeah. The 38 million smokers that have yet to find it, right?
So,
or have it work.
Sapir with the another brilliant observation is, if you're at an event and somebody comes up and says, boy, I really want X flavor. I like your stuff, but I want X flavor. 9 times out of 10, the booth that you're at, they're going to go, you know what? Such and such down over there has that flavor.
Right.
They're not going to get it. I've never, in all the time that I've been doing this, I've never seen somebody at an event say, don't go over there, even though they have a flavor that you want, because they're assholes or whatever. I mean, everybody is in this, in the industry, at least that I know of, is basically they're saying, you know what? Okay. Yeah. We don't have that flavor, but Lonnie over there has this flavor, or Steve over there has this flavor, or Zach over there has that flavor. Whether you're competing or not. Yep, Nick's in the room. A lot of people have come in the room. Yolanda has been over here repeatedly saying that she's really excited to try Symmetry 6.
Hi, Yolanda. I don't know if we're allowed to do this. But I'm going to send Yolanda a bottle if she can get a hold of Patrick, because that's awesome to hear. And we can't give away free samples, so it's going to cost you $1. We'll work something out. We want to follow the rules, but I'd love to get Yolanda's take on it because I saw that comment.
Stephen has a question.
That's a good question.
Is it possible to save this industry? That's a big question, brother. But
at this point, it may not be possible to save the industry, but we're gonna fucking save vaping. And if that means that I have to fucking, move offshore and create e-liquid in bottles or boxes and ship them via like carrier pigeon, we're gonna fucking do that. We're gonna do whatever we have to do.
This industry is massive, right? And Steven knows this. We really want to support the U.S. market. I would say 58% of our business is international. The industry is not going away. In the U.S., it's facing some stiff opposition. But even if it were to go away in the legal sense, I don't know if they really comprehend how many people vape, how passionate they are about protecting their choice to a harm reduction alternative. And it's going to be massive. There will be a massive black market. I know of groups that are already formed that are already way ahead of the game. Yeah.
No.
So it's just laughable. Why not use our taxable revenue and put it to good use, hopefully. But it's unfathomable that they're trying to take a alternative away from the U.S. This is what we're born on. This is what the country was founded on. So no, Paul, no, Steve, it's not going away.
It's sad you guys are taking so much time and painstaking stupidity to go through to help smokers. You're not helping vapors.
To see
vapors are your base.
Yeah, how much money does it cost? How much money does it cost to get permission to save people's lives?
A lot.
I mean, I know for a fact that AES has about $20 million in their PMTA. No, Juul has about $20 million in their PMTA. I know for a fact that AES has $15 million in their PMTA. I've heard from a little birdie that Avail, which is the first open vapor PMTA that's been submitted or been accepted at least, they have somewhere around just a little over $10 million in their PMTA. And then Charlie's Chalk Dust announced in their press release for their financials today or yesterday or something like that they have 4.4 million in what they've got for their PMTA. So it's Avail's PMTA is $10 million. And I've been told that they have 23 more that they're going to submit before the deadline. I don't know about that, but this is, I mean, just think about it. Even if you're Charlie's Chalk Dust and you've got $4.4 million is what you're paying the government to give you permission
to possibly say yes
well, for at least a year, because theirs will probably be accepted, for permission to save people's lives. You're going there with your fucking hat in your hand. Please let me help people. Here's $4.4 million so that I can help people. If you're Avail, here's $10 million. Please let me save people's lives. If you're AES, $15 million.
Mm-hmm.
Please let me save people's lives. And even Juul, who a lot of people here don't like. I don't technically like the company, but I think their product is pretty okay. Not for me, but for other people, because a lot of people like it. Please, here's $20 million. Please don't let these smokers die.
They're extracting it from so many small businesses. They're 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. A lot of people are putting applications together to help people, right? It's and hope that it works, right? There's so much vagary, which brings me to a good point. I hope I'm not here to pitch and sell and do all that, but we are not disillusioned to think that our path right now, synthetic nicotine, is an end all be all. In fact, as a disclaimer, in case anyone legal is watching this, the product that we're about to launch, it contains nicotine, but it does not contain tobacco or anything derived from tobacco. This product is not intended for use with a tobacco product or component or part of a tobacco product. This product is not intended for the treatment or prevention of any disease or condition. So with that all being said, this is not the end all be all, guys. And I know there's a lot of hate, there's a lot of mystery. We identify and let our stores know, hey, we're all in this together. And I've said that a lot, and it's been used so much during COVID, but we literally are all in this together. It's left to the interpretation. It's left up to the intent. And you can't make claims. You have to follow that language in order to present this product. And we are not saying this is the end all be all. We just jumped into the TPD, wanted to be the first movers, spent 6 figures to get everything squared away and be the first guys, and then came to find that short fills were the way. And then that TPD, wasn't the way, right? You spend all this money to be among the first, if not the first company to go through that, just to find out that there's other things going on. So we want to protect our retailers to have something on their shelves to sell. Come September 10th, there's going to be a lot of applications. Hopefully they get accepted. If they don't get accepted, correct me if I'm wrong, they will pull you off the market. You are not allowed to market your product. And at that point, 5 Ponds is dead. Anyone's dead.
So to answer your question, from my understanding, submitting your PMTA does not literally mean anything. The important thing is them accepting your PMTA. And that means that they've scanned it, they've looked at it, it contains all of the things that they have listed in the guidance as being required for your PMTA to be considered a PMTA. If your PMTA does not include whatever's listed on that guidance document, whether that's I think Stephen put some of this stuff in the chat room a while ago, whether that's aerosol testing or in vitro, in vivo clinical studies, human trials. If your product does not include those things, it's not considered a complete PMTA. And we discussed on the last show how easy it would be for FDA to write a bit of software, a little bit of a bot, because Kevin knows all about bots, to basically scan through what you submitted to make sure that it contains the minimum standard to say that it has X, Y, and Z in it. And if it doesn't contain X, Y, and Z, my feeling on the matter is, and this is only my feeling on the matter, I have some inside knowledge, but I'm not ready to talk about that yet, that they will immediately send you a letter saying your PMTA is not accepted and you have to remove your product from the market.
It's spooky.
So there is that. It's not cool. Yeah, it's not cool at all. So anyway, Taylor Cage, who is I believe a nicotine representative or whatever.
A lot of people to Taylor Cage. She's great.
She puts a question in the chat room. She says, I really want the viewers to hear how y'all decided to go with synthetic.
And hopefully I answered it just at that last little rant, but we've toyed with synthetic nic for quite a while. TFN, which is Next Generation Labs, has a form of synthetic nic. We opted not to go that route. We went for an S isomer synthetic nic. We looked at the purity. We looked at where it was manufactured. Siegfried in Switzerland. It's distributed by the largest nicotine distributor in the world. We tried it out, and I see in there that Noah says it tasted rough. It depends. I guess it would depend on a lot of things if it tasted rough, but we can address that. The reason we went with synthetic nic was, like I just mentioned, we had been going down the PMTA route for 3 years. We've been working on getting a PMTA together, whether it's legal counsel or mentors or different people within which we had meetings with, they said, this is vague. You are going to spend a ton of money. You went down that road with TPD in the past. You found that TPD changed and there was a way around that, and you didn't have to spend that money. We're talking about a magnitude of order greater financial responsibility to put a true PMTA together. Watch it happen. See what happens. Synthetic nick may be a way based on the legal language. And I can forward this to anyone if they want to PM me in a chat. I've got some information for you to digest, and you need to make a decision if it's right for you. We're not here pounding anyone over the head to carry this. This is the only way. Again, we're not disillusioned that this is the end all be all, but we have been given enough confidence that this is a way with the right intent language to keep product on the shelf for stores and for consumers that have adopted this technology. So I can't make any health claims, can't make an intended use. I'm not going to go there on the video, but I'll be more than happy to provide you with more data. But we don't do anything really halfway, and we respect all the people that are trying to go and submit their PMTA. That risk reward benefit or risk factor of having to remove your product if it didn't get accepted wasn't really an option, and we weren't going to take on debt in order to go through the PMTA at this point. We will watch to see who gets approved, and we've been in talks with all the big guys, anyone that submitted a PMTA from a larger scale to the smaller scale, and we are going to watch this, see how it goes. Every day is something new, but we have a pathway for now that I think people are going to like a lot. In fact,
well, I mean, I've tried the Orchard blends, and I know that I vape a much higher level nicotine than what they're provided in, but I could compare that to other 6 milligram freebase e-liquid that I have vaped, and I didn't think it was any harsher than a 6 milligram freebase. It seemed comparable to me.
And as you know, we go with a unique strategy. We didn't feel comfortable with sucralose. We haven't gone that route. It's a different experience. It's not going to be a thicker mouthfeel. It's not going to be the sweetness. It's not. There's certain things that the sweetness it helps people off of cigarettes. We got nothing against that. We support harm reduction no matter what. We opted not to go that direction to maximize harm reduction how we see it, and it's a different taste, right? It's not the mouth feel, and it doesn't coat your windshield type of thing, right? It doesn't gunk up your coils as much.
I don't vape anything with sucralose in it anyway, so
it's a little different than some people are used to.
Yeah, I was interested. Jay Irving Bates up in Michigan did a survey basically the same time I did, and him and I got talking, and I said to him, "What about pepper? Maybe we could use pepper." So not that you're going to use pepper, but as a consumer, if I want to stop smoking and everything else is off the market, and that's not where I want it to go, and you're looking at a different option, that's just one more step of innovation for the industry to look at. I know it's probably more expensive, and that may cost a little more, but if you're going to have another smoker have another option, it doesn't matter what the name brand is to me. I don't care. So the Juul haters can be haters, but that's an important thing.
To be clear about expense and cost and things like that, every company that's submitting a PMTA that gets one accepted, after they've been accepted and they're going to be on the market, there is going to be a substantial increase in price of product that's available.
Oh, yeah.
Because everybody's got to recover some of the loss of the expense of submitting a PMTA. So the idea that, you can buy a 30 or 60 ml bottle of liquid for $18, that's going to go by the wayside. Everybody's going to have to recover some of the expense of that. And you know.
Hey, but can I derail this real quick? Isn't
Uh-huh.
it odd that you can buy a puff bar for $9, so it's $9 a mil? But we caught so much heat because we were 91 cents a mil back in the day. Now it's like $9 a mil and throw it away, right? It's what you wait. You know, this tradition, and this is Taylor knows this. So Taylor knows that a traditional liter of Nick, call it $50. Now you're looking at $900 for synthetic Nick. This is not cheap, right? We can't go to a 12 or an 18, and that hurts our heart because we know that smokers could use that, right? So we got to really, I was going to bring it up, and I wanted your opinion. What would you think about 30 mils coming back at a little higher price, about the same price as 100 mil or a 60 mil today? It may go smaller. The stores may see a resurgence of customers having to come in more frequently. It kind of reverses. It's weird how things spin around again, right? Yeah, I know. I see that. But I don't know. Yeah,
This is bourbon apple tobacco on it. I don't know what. But anyway, I mean, I said in the pre-show, I can remember when back in old timey days when we would pay $1 a mil. We would pay. People were waiting in fucking line to buy fluid for $30 a 30 mil bottle. There was a fucking waiting list for that crap. Sorry, that wonderful liquid. People waited in line for that. I mean, they were happy to spend $30 a mil. I vape 5 or 6 mils a day on a normal day. I'm not the average vapor because I vape, high Nick. You're the devil.
You're the devil.
At about 18 watts. But for smokers that are spending double that a day, if you're talking $1 per mil and I go through 5 or 6 mils and they go through 2 packs of cigarettes, they're paying double that in cigarettes. They're still
good point. Good, yeah. Got to look at that.
And for me, if it's synthetic, I'm very interested in that just because of the idea that it's something else you can do. The throat hit is what I want. So if it's too low, maybe the flavor can give it a throat hit, or the mix of PG, VG, or whatever it is you guys are going to use may increase a throat hit. So if they're looking for a throat hit and they don't even know it, that has to be compensated for. But I'm sure you've got a crack staff to do so.
And I've tried to have Steven on the show just because he keeps saying really good stuff in the chat room, and he always blows me off. But he makes a good point here. He says the new high-ohm devices warrant the resurgence of the 30 mil bottle. I mean, I see people posting in Facebook. I see stores posting, we got the new Drag X, whatever, the new this pod or that pod, and all these are refillable drop-in coil pods. And I don't have, the only one I have in front of me is the BIP, but it's this type of technology. And I vape 12 and 18 milligram in this, but there are plenty of people that they've got a lower resistance coil that you could put 6 milligram in this and it would be fine. I mean, people could easily start adopting these types of devices and smaller bottles, and it would probably be perfectly fine. I'm sure that this doesn't go through nearly as much e-liquid as ripping a 1.5 milligram nicotine at 500 watts that I see some of these kids, with at 0.00001 resistance. So a lot of these new devices are designed for a 30 mil bottle.
For low, yeah.
So we might be seeing that. That's another option. I had a note, 2017, this was just, I'm going to ramble it off because for whatever reason I wrote it down, so it must be something I thought was important. FDA announced a broad plan to comprehensively and effectively regulate nicotine, both under the Tobacco and Drug Authority, under their Drug and Tobacco Authority, in an effort to increase effectiveness and encourage innovation of less harmful ways to deliver nicotine. right? And so
now was Gottlieb? That was when Gottlieb was there, and Gottlieb liked to say stuff.
Yeah,
he liked to get up there and say we really want to foster innovation in the industry, and he'd go on TV and say shit like that. We really want to look at lowering nicotine in combustible cigarettes so that they're no longer addictive. Wanted to go through all of that stuff, and I put out. I think I did a show. If you go through the show notes, it's the one where Gottlieb is on the cover of the show, and he's wearing a crown. It says King Gottlieb. Yeah. And he was saying all sorts of grandiose things like that, like we want to foster innovation in this and that, but they never fucking did a damn thing.
Yeah,
they never did a damn thing to make that happen.
It's on record, and we should hold them accountable. That's what we're looking to do: increase effectiveness and encourage innovation of less harmful ways to deliver nicotine. And
and he's gone. And now he tweets pro vaping stuff all the time. All the time. He's always on there. Oh, well, even during EVALI, he was like, well, we need to be perfectly clear that the source of this problem, and he was accurate. He was accurate in his tweets. But, Stephen Hahn's there now, and I guarantee you he'll be gone before October.
Yeah.
He's going to be gone. He's a little inside baseball. That interim position that he accepted was on the condition that it was only 9 months long.
Oh, interesting.
Why is Jerry still there?
That's a little inside baseball that I got from somebody who I believe.
Good.
We're indoctrinated in one way or another from our surroundings, our parents, whoever, that these groups are to be trusted. And one thing that we've all found is that that's not always the case. And it's really disheartening. And, we see it, whether it's with this current situation going on or whether it's vaping. I've lost a lot of faith, a lot of hope in those that are there to protect us. And it's going to take us getting real loud. I love your get louder. It's going to take more of that. It's going to take United Vape Alliance, and it's going to take September 5th. We have a chance right here, ladies and gentlemen, to make a difference in the trajectory of history. This is legacy, right? This is something to save lives. My Aunt Amy, bless her heart, died when she was carrying oxygen, and she didn't have that option. She couldn't make the transition. Listen to David Gerlitz from it broke my heart listening to what he's been through. And he's loud and he's boisterous. I love him, but he rubs people wrong sometimes. Good for him. We need him back. We need those types of folks to just call out our trusted groups that we were raised to trust out. And let's just drop the nonsense and get back to getting on the offense. The rhetoric and the narrative that they're being pushed and it's disseminated in all the city council meetings is old data. We have a lot of great new data, and we don't have the PR engine, the Bloomberg, giving us millions of dollars to get it out there. So it's up to every one of us, and that's why I think you, Kevin, are a foundational member of getting that word spread through consumers. And Patrick, you're doing great things, and I wouldn't have come on the show if I didn't think you had the most of you guys. You guys are amazing. I don't know who our political allies, Stephen. These guys keeping track of that. I don't pretend to be some type of advocacy expert. We've got Julie, we've got Greg Connolly, we've got so many good people out there. David Sweener, Clive Bates. These guys are amazing advocates. Amanda Wheeler, Nick, all you guys, Jarvis. It's we've got the people out there. It's our time to really get loud. Is this the small biz help? Yeah. No, I hear you, man. I hear you. That was a kick to the groin.
I was going to ask you how you felt about it. That's good enough.
I mentioned it a while ago, and I did. This is a tweet from last week, and it's still getting a lot of love. This one has been retweeted 76 times now. That's a lot for me. I'm not Kevin. I'm not nearly as prolific as Kevin is. But yeah, I mean, obviously, we talked about them asking for asking for the DOJ to talk to Judge Grimm and get permission for them to help premium cigars. And I specifically addressed this question to Azar: is this a small business help that he promised?
And he promised it.
He did promise on.
I remember that
on Scott Sand's show. Like,
I'm going to link Jim's thing when I find it.
There's a recording. So yeah, it's
Skip Murray, Dr. Gardner, just all these people on Twitter, the PMTA reform hashtag, the FDA at the real Donald Trump. We just need to keep tagging these folks. Stephen, we don't have political allies. I agree. Who is Ron Johnson? We got a couple guys that recognize it, but it's so polarized, left and right. It couldn't be more polarizing right now. It's us. It's the movement. We need to make that change. We need to let them know we vote for them. They're our elected officials, and this is public health, man. This is public health.
Yeah, I mean, even Tom Miller, who is
Tom
Miller's great, Iowa. But it doesn't matter how many letters. What's his name? The guy from the committee here. Ron Johnson. Doesn't matter how many letters that he writes to the FDA demanding that they take action or demanding that they answer his questions or demanding that they come and sit in front of his committee. They don't have to do it, and they're not going to do it. They've never showed up once. He sent like 6 letters over the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Never. Doesn't matter.
Nicole says it. Know your group. I know my state and national folks. It's critical, right? We've got our local representatives. I've gone down to their office. I've met with their staffers. They shake their head. I went to Kamala Harris's office when we were in DC.
Oh, good luck with that one.
Yeah, we were in there. We're talking to staffers, and it's a shake the head, and they hear you. We were in there in force. But yeah, you can't be defeated. Every day we get up and we're getting hammered around. This is a resilient group of folks, man. I'm proud to be in a barroom brawl with all our store owners and the people who've been with us, our customers and our competitors and I don't care. There's enough room for all of us as long as we all fight together and we can rise up as one, because we do need to engage our elected officials and just be loud. I don't know if my letters that go to Trump ever get read. I get this response that it's been read, and Pelosi and everybody else, but who knows if they read those things.
So, this is the actual transcript from the Trump DC. I read this yesterday from beginning to end.
Yeah.
And,
some fun snippets, ain't there?
It's very clear during the entire, and this is quite long. This is everything that was discussed in that hour.
Yeah.
This is everything, and it's very clear that Trump understands that his inaction is going to create a black market. Like, he is fully aware of what the repercussions are going to be. Like, he brings it up repeatedly. If we do, if these guys, he's talking to Jewel, if you don't make flavors, China's just going to counterfeit pods and send them to the United States. He specifically knows this.
Yes.
If we pull flavors from the market, people are just going to make flavors at home and sell them.
And that's dangerous. And he knows that.
And he knows that. That's a dangerous he repeatedly during this session asks the right questions, makes the statements that indicate that he understands what's going to happen if he doesn't do anything.
The biggest threat to America right now, I think, I don't know, geopolitically, this is apolitical, but China's a huge threat. We need manufacturing back in the United States. We need
in every area.
We need everything here. In the vapor industry, other than decaying, how many e-liquids come from China? Very few. There's a lot of hardware, and there's some
a lot of flavoring still come from there too.
Yeah, but we need to keep these businesses. 15,000 businesses, 160,000 jobs. That speaks to a politician. Let's get that out there more and more and more. Right? We gotta continue down that road. Jobs, and especially now jobs. You know,
I mean,
my friends that have restaurants, I feel so bad for them.
And solutions. He asked for solutions. The other side, we'll call them the body parts people, gave them his response from 2 weeks before or whatever it was, that it needs to go away. You were already right once, Mr. President. Well, that's not what he wanted. He's not a yes man in that respect. He doesn't want to hear what you think he wants to hear, because of the way Patrick just described his understanding of it, and Stephen said it. He does understand the issue. It's just the last thing on his friggin' mind right now. We are having it in the front of our heads, consumers and business, obviously. This isn't the first thing on his head every morning. So when he asked for solutions, the industry who came showed him solutions that he asked for. That's what he wanted. That's what he got. He didn't get that from the body parts groups, and I was pretty fucking proud, and that's a drink word for the folks that are, that I didn't see consumers in there specifically, but I also know, even I've taken shit on Twitter about the consumers weren't, involved. Yeah, they were involved. The businesses are the consumers at one point or another.
Well, and put it this way, the consumers are involved because they should be buying. This is like the mantra that I've been screaming from all the way back in the vaping militia days. We put it on all of our shit. Buy your product from people that are fighting to preserve this industry. Every dollar you spend in the industry, a portion of that should be going to the future of the industry. Right. So yeah, I mean, the customers are indeed a very important part of this, even if they're not us and very vocal and busting ass on Twitter and going to events and standing on stage and preaching. The customer, the consumer, the regular Joe that just wants to not smoke is still very important in the equation. And then obviously when it comes to, contacting your reps, it doesn't matter if you're a company, that your vote to your representative is money.
That's money. That's currency. And that's what we need to continue. And Stephen said right there, that speaks to them. Like, we need to speak their language. Jobs, votes.
So yeah, I mean, I've been hammering Trump for the last 2 days on Twitter. Like, I have been unrelentless, and the tweet that I just shared on screen, I put, after 4 years in the White House, Donald Trump can't say he's unaware of the issues around vaping in the United States. He met with industry leaders, heard about FDA's overreach and impending death of jobs and consumer freedom at the hands of government appointees. And I'm taunting him now. He never fucking cared, or he never cared. I didn't use a curse word. He might actually care, but I want him to see that tweet. And, I actually addressed another tweet to him the other day. I said, I don't know that you're actually reading these tweets if you have a staff member that skims for you and just points out the most important ones. But, this is very important. Yeah, here it is.
It's well written. That was a great tweet. I'll have to reshare that. Let's get that out there.
Not sure if you read your tweets, Donald Trump, or a staffer sifts them, but are you aware that your inactivity is allowing Obama's FDA to kill 13,000 small businesses in just under a month? You are letting his administration still make bad decisions for you. Hashtag PMTA reform.
You're using psychology, Trump psychology, to help get in there. Use that Obama word. He might actually look at that one.
I've used that. I've used that Obama's FDA.
Yeah. Smart,
man.
At least twice in different tweets. And Jim McDonald was not having any of it. Like, Jim McDonald replied in one of my things, it hasn't been Obama's FDA for 4 years. And I'm like, until Trump acts.
It's a subsidiary of.
I mean, I don't like to piss off Jim McDonald, but yeah, Jim McDonald was like that. He was not having any of that, but I don't think he got.
It'll be okay.
What I was trying to do. I'm trying to get Trump pissed off. I'm trying to
get him fired up.
I'm trying to put him basically. I'm trying to get his dander up and basically say, well, you're no different than Obama.
Because
that will piss him off.
Mrs. Wheeler a few months ago said what? We have zero to lose. Nothing. Zip. Nothing.
So yeah, period. I mean, for Trump, and I am not he's not listening. I am not a fucking fan of Donald Trump, but I know how I can. He's so easily read. Like, he cares about his image, and he doesn't want to be compared to Obama. And if I fucking compare him to Obama in a tweet, it's not because I think that Obama's fault or I'm anti-Obama and pro-Trump. It's because I want to piss him off.
Exactly.
And, I'm telling you, if somebody whispered in his ear and said, dude, they're comparing you to Obama, he would jump up and say, what do I need to fucking do to fix that?
Yeah.
So
that's it. Stay loud. Stay loud. That's key.
Until somebody tells me I'm wrong, I'm going to do what I do. Patrick,
you're wrong.
I want to make fucking sure. I'm going to keep doing it anyway. Fuck you. I want you to do what you're doing. I want Jay to do what he's doing. I want Amanda to do what she's doing. Stephen and Taylor and Tom and everybody else in the room and Nick. It doesn't matter. Fuck it. Who cares?
The passionate small business owners that found a solution to the tobacco problem can change the trajectory of history and number one, offset the leading cause of preventable death.
It's like huge.
This is why we're doing it.
This will be named one of the biggest innovations in this century.
This is the perfect example of what a disruptive technology is. By definition, this is the most disruptive technology that has probably ever been made.
Ever.
So yeah, like yesterday during the campaign, we were trying to get everybody to call the White House. Well, the phones opened at like 7:30, and by 9:30 or 10:30, they were dead. They were done. It says the phone lines are temporarily. You cannot, So I taunted him again.
Yeah.
White House turned off the phone so vapors can't call the president. Donald Trump has ignored the fact that Obama's FDA is less than 30 days away from killing 13,000 small businesses. So yeah, I mean,
look at you, bud. Those are great. I haven't been seeing those. It's great.
You're apparently not following me.
No, you know what happens?
It hurts my feelings.
Man, the algorithms, it's disconnecting all of us.
Oh, that's why Jay likes my Twitter. He hasn't seen them all.
Okay, no, I don't see that.
But Kevin should be retweeting all of my shit. So that's our agreement. Is he comes on the show, and in return he has to retweet all of my tweets.
I don't even like you.
I think this is proof you need Steven Sapir on your show.
Steven is gold. He's been dropping like massive truth bombs, but every time I invite him, he's like, I got kids to take care of, or I gotta feed my family, or I got important things to do, and your show sucks. That's what he does every time.
I went to the bank. I went to the bank and got a whole bunch of those cardboard wrappers so you can put change in. I tipped over my change pot, and I go, "Hey, you guys, go deal with this. I'll be back in a couple hours." I came back into the office, so I'll give you 10% of whatever you wrap up.
Well, how many kids do you have?
I have a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old, and I don't vape in my house. Can you believe that? I don't vape in front of them. I don't vape around my house. I teach them it's bad. It's not it's not safe. This is for adult smokers that haven't found a way off of traditional tobacco. Believe you me, I want to sit in bed and vape, and whenever I go, that's why I'm missing travel. One thing that's good about COVID is it's going to make me appreciate travel. It's going to make me appreciate seeing you guys at shows so much more. I'm going to value that. Grateful to hang out with friends and vape in my hotel room and just hang. Because I don't, I'm cheap.
You break the rules, sir. You're not supposed to vape in the hotel room, sir.
What's this? What's this? You don't want to attract children, and it's what? What?
We've never marketed to children. We want nothing to do with children in this industry. We're grandpas in this thing.
The way I see the children thing is, wait a minute, you're gonna have a former smoker who found an alternative, and then is gonna have a 9-year-old walk in and go, "Oh, here you go, son. Go ahead out there and smoke."
Yeah.
No.
No.
So So just so that everybody that's watching the show right now is perfectly clear, Steven Sapir is going to be on the show next Friday night because
awesome.
He just said it. Anytime I'm giving him a week's notice. You
That'd
open
be
your
great.
mouth, buddy.
Yeah, he's got some things to say. I know that.
Well, I typically know how to piss people off and make them say things that I want them to say. You know, usually I can get them riled up. I can get people riled up, so it's all right.
No.
Yeah.
Konbanwa, Bill Tarling. Bill Tarling.
There's another
one. Japanese culture. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's great. He sends me pictures of the crossing there in Shibuya, and he's all into it. That's fun. Yeah, but Japan's a big market. They can't have nicotine when we send wholesale orders, but small orders can have nicotine. That culture was so driven by smoking for so long, and it's awesome to see them adopt this form of nicotine delivery. You know, Australia is going through so many issues. You know, New Zealand's found the right way. You know,
we're big in both of those places, New Zealand and in Australia. There's a couple of Aussie and one of the Aussies in the room's like, dude, you need to PM me. I need to talk to you. So Paul Blameyer is probably going to be PMing you soon.
Awesome. And he did. Yeah, I saw his comment there. He says a lot of liquids are manufactured in China, and he's probably right. Actually, with all the puff bars and all that, they ship the product there. Let's keep it in the U.S., man. U.S.
Yeah, I mean, you know, sadly, and this is the situation that a lot of businesses in the United States may not have quite fathomed yet. Just because you can't sell the product here, you know, you can still do business in other parts of the world if you've done what you need to do to get legal in those markets. So, you know, I'm hoping, and this is not a solution. This is not a long-term solution for saving vaping in the United States, but for jobs and keeping people, you know, not starving to death, you know, manufacturing here and selling over there might be a solution, but that's fucking expensive as well.
We sell product over there. We sell product all over, but we'd never want to turn our back on the U.S.
No.
This is who made us. This is where we're at. And we know there's 10 million vapors out there, and there's 38 million smokers that need this technology, not just Five Ponds, but just we're collectively. I'm always talking about the whole. They need Troop Wool is what they need. They need Steven Severe. They need everyone who's been working their ass off to provide a product to help folks just like us before we found it, right? So this is exciting, man. I'm really grateful because I'm just fired up again, right? This is a monumental time in our lives, even though, you know, sometimes in hindsight you see things and, oh yeah, that was this is a big freaking time, man. We got the elections coming up. We've got just people denying science. We've got people we've trusted and groups that we've trusted, the alphabet groups we've trusted. We kind of understand their game now, and we can exploit this. We can pull the wool from people's eyes if they'll just listen, you know?
There is a world where after doomsday happens and a buttload of fucking people lose their businesses.
Oh, we can't do that. It's people.
There is a world where that happens and fucking people get fired up. Yeah. I still think that there's a lot of complacency. There's a lot of people with their fucking heads in the sand that think that this is not going to happen.
What do you mean they banned it? They banned it? What?
You
guys won't deliver it anymore?
There is a world where vape shops don't participate because they think it's somebody else's fight. Until one day when they don't have any fucking product to sell. Not the people in here. The vape shop owners that come in here bust their ass for advocacy. But this is literally less than 1% of the industry. You know, this is a micro fraction of the people in this industry. The black market. No, you know, Steven, I'm going to fucking say this. I'm going to say this loud and proud. My job as a consumer and a fucking scallywag and a pirate and a bootlegger and whatever else you want to fucking say, it is not unethical for somebody to create a black market to save people's lives, as long as they do it in as responsible and safe a way as possible.
I encourage it.
I've said on this show many times, there is no safe black market. We are going to fucking create the world's first lab generated fucking safe black market.
Civil disobedience gives me boners.
It's not. It's
he really did say that.
The Boston Tea Party kids. Remember the Boston Tea Party?
When the fucking world ends, we're going to shine at saving smokers. We're going to show them that there's a way to fucking circumvent the system and do it in a less than legal, but the safest fucking way possible. I don't care what I have to fucking do. I will not leave one smoker unsaved.
Quality and accountability should be understood. That's common sense, but we know that doesn't totally exist in this industry. But let's hope, people do it right. But what you're saying is on point, Patrick. Good for you. Like it's we know it's better than the alternative.
I have a list.
I have a list.
And I know where there are labs in the United States that create perfectly good and safe product. And if I have to drop ship that shit to some fucking third world country and have it repackaged and shipped back to the United States, I will fucking do that. I will figure out a way. I will put we're going to, there's going to be fucking videos showing people how to make product, where to buy shit, how to DIY. But there are people that have tremors that can't fucking DIY. There are people that have, I wear trifocals.
Right.
There is going to
be broads like
what? If you own a vape shop, buy a fucking van. You have a database of your customers. Buy a fucking burner phone, and you know what? I'm
Escobar it.
I'm so fucking over this bullshit. And I'm not drinking. I'm not drinking, and I'm dropping. I'm gonna have to watch the replay and count how many drinks I owe because I'm not drinking right now. But
I think they underestimate the number of passionate vapors.
They do.
They underestimate.
They have no idea. What I posted last week on a Facebook post. I can't remember. It was on Smoke Free Radio. Basically saying they do not know what links I will go to, and I'm not the only one.
No, it's
I'm just the guy on the phone on the show here with a fucking microphone and who likes to talk.
What I want to see.
Yeah, we're a microcosm of the vaping population. We always think that Facebook's so big and vaping, and it's so big.
There's going to be guys that know guys that call me or call you or call somebody else and like, dude, can I buy in bulk? Back in old timey days, I used to have a friend that was a big fan of Jimmy the Juice Man.
Yeah.
And Jimmy, back in those days, they would sell like a big, huge giant bottle, and then they would rebottle it and give it to all their friends.
Yeah, I see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they come to reason.
It's not like we did. It's not like we don't know how to do it. We did it before, and now we got people who have ISO labs.
What do you think about
churn out a gallon of e-liquid in no time flat?
Just regulating labels. Like, if it's the kids and you don't like cartoon labels, let's mature the industry a little bit. Is that unheard of? Is that even?
I mean, obviously that was part of VTA's 21 and done. I mean, obviously they had rules in place about branding. I mean, obviously I don't give a shit what's on the label. It could be a white label with,
here's our new
I don't. Yeah,
that's Canada.
That's about it. I mean, something like that. That's perfectly fine.
It's hideous, but yeah.
there's no reason why it has to have that. I mean, I always said, and I've said it many times on this show, I said it on the Vaping Militia Radio, what you have on the outside of the label or outside of the bottle is not nearly as important as what's inside the bottle.
Keep you off the smokes.
What's inside the bottle is the most important thing. Look at the Plume Room. The Plume Room have never, ever, ever had to have a fancy label. Their labels are clean. They're, beautiful. Look at your labels. They're, classy and traditional, and they're, there was a line, and I can't remember what they just had a fucking logo and a number on the side of their bottle.
I think I remember that.
All of their flavors were just numbers. It doesn't have to be all that. I mean, obviously it's cool, and I always thought that cool was not really an important part of your business model, but it could be. Yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, maybe not a marker label like this one, but this is just for me. Here, this is Mountain Oat Vapor. This is a tobacco that Mountain Oat Vapor. I mean, it's pretty plain. It's just black and white and a gold.
Yeah. It needs to go somewhere. Let's give them something. We'll refrain from doing that. Hey, we're at 1 hour and 40 minutes. Product plug, right? So, do it. Will be very expensive. We now are going to be introducing this in a Chubby Gorilla bottle, believe it or not. But with the cost going up so dramatically on the synthetic nic, this allows us to lower our cost of goods.
So explain first, you need to announce that there's going to be a 5-pond synthetic nic in the original flavor line.
Oh yes, a 5 ponds original 5 ponds in a synthetic S isomer nicotine, still batch dated, still lot numbered, still handcrafted and meticulously made, but coming in the form. We've had a lot of people say that the CPSC. I don't know if you guys have dealt with this.
I just pop them out.
Yeah, and it leaves that much liquid that you can't get. We get a lot of complaints. It was a regulation. We had to comply. This is going to make it easier, and we hope we don't upset too many people from going glasses class. But the extreme cost of this nicotine allows us to actually reduce our price from $27.50 down $25.99. So it'll at least come down a little bit. Margins compress. Taxes in Utah are 56%. Taxes in Nevada are 30%. Taxes in Minnesota are 95%. We knew this rogue legislation was going to take place. People can hate us for coming out at 91 cents a milliliter and a 30 mil for $27.50. It was a little bit of foresight. We knew this was going to be a regulated environment. We were right. Rogue taxation's taken over all over the country. It's allowed us to absorb that cost without raising the price. Like you said, I think after people invest in these PMTAs, price is going to have to go up. And even if it doesn't, margins will compress to the point where they got to move a ton of volume. So we're making that leap. We know we're not. We just want to confirm to anyone watching, that we're not disillusioned. This isn't the only way. Go ahead, and we applaud everyone for going the PMTA route. We will be looking at the PMTA route as soon as we see a couple approvals. It's just too vague right now. We want to be on the market. We want to have something for the stores to sell. And with the intended language, they'll be able to do that. And we're not offering legal advice. I have documentation. Feel free to reach out to me. And there are some language that you need to adhere to with your staff as well. And so no health claims. We just love the industry. We love you guys. And we're freaking on the precipice, man. This is Braveheart. I want to watch that thing again. I'm going to watch that tonight. I got so fired up. That was awesome. Whoever did that. And I love that there's people from all over the world on here. So it's great. You're doing a great job, Patrick. Keep it up. I know it's disheartening sometimes. Kevin, you guys come out here and you don't know. You've had great guests, amazing guests. And not to say that I'm in that crowd. I'm humbled to even be here. But I love watching the show. You get so many good nuggets out of it. We just need to keep pressing forward, guys. Keep pressing on.
That's all we're doing, dude. And I've said it every show for the last year. We're not going anywhere. Nope. After this happens, we're still going to come on here and cuss and be pissed and get people fired up.
Fire up. Oh, yeah. Well, Bill brings up a good point. There is going to be a massive fire sale of liquids. A lot of people getting out of this game. We're seriously watching it when the show started. Yeah, it's going to get weird. It's going to get real weird here in the near future. So just going to have to see how this plays out. But we appreciate anyone that's ever supported us. We know there's people that despise us, don't like where we come from. It's okay. You know, I'm old enough where I don't really.
You do you and they'll do them.
Yeah, we just do us and we can sleep good at night.
Yep. So yeah, we promised Jay that it was going to be a relatively short show, and we are already way past what we promised. So yeah, we're gonna do another shorty show because it doesn't have to be 3.5, 4 hours every fucking weekend. So, Kevin, do you got some final thoughts?
Final thoughts.
You didn't get to talk that much, so you get to talk now.
Okay, I'm all right with that. Nicole put it that she was basically going to be dragged out her location. That's one form of civil disobedience. I like that. That gives me a boner. Like you said earlier, if you're going to find another way to do it and it's legal and we're good, we don't have to go to the black market, good on you guys. Synthetic nic is really interesting to me because of my interest of nicotine itself and how I got on that path. So if that's able to be done in 3 and I can use a device that I like and it's still satisfying to me, fucking A. I don't have any troubles with that. I've seen people say no, and I don't understand that. Everything you put in your body from drugs to everything else is synthetic. It's all fucking made up now. So I don't care. I think it's a great
molecular
idea.
structure. Same molecular structure. It's the purest form. No nitrosamines and the tobacco derived issues.
Yep. It's huge.
Positives.
It's huge. And like you said earlier, it is history. Bill's right. There will be a fire sale. It's one of us said that a couple of weeks ago. That's predicted. It's a fire sale for those who cannot do it, and that's a sad thing, really. The consumer wins; he gets a better price, or she gets a better price. But I want you guys to keep yelling. I want you to keep screaming. If you can go to the rally, go to the rally. If you don't want to go, don't go. It's all up to you as a consumer and the businesses that are in with us. I already know you guys are fighting your asses off. There's no doubt in my mind or Patrick's mind as far as I'm concerned. So, Jay, I appreciate you coming on. It's been really, really fun. It's good to get a different perspective of a business, you know. So thank you very much. And Patrick, as always, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Guy.
Yeah, I mean, we do what we do because we love to do what we do. I mean, we're passionate about what we do because we know how important it is to us. You know, we were smokers, and I tried to quit multiple times and nothing worked. You know, this worked, and it did it really fast. Like, I quit in one fucking day. Like, after trying every other way to do it, this worked. So this is worth fighting for. And, you know, yes, there's nearly 40 million smokers still smoking. Literally still smoking. And many of them are doing it because they're afraid to quit. They're afraid to try vaping because they've been lied to. They believed, you know, American Lung Association, American Cancer Society, the CDC, the FDA, all these bastard fuckers that benefit from the sale of combustible tobacco, or don't want to do the job that they were, you know, meant to do. FDA doesn't want to regulate this many businesses, this many products. They don't want to. They don't have the infrastructure to do it. They said that on the fucking day after they released the initial language for the PMTA or for the deeming regs. The financial impact analysis in 2014 stated we fully expect 99.9% of the industry to exit. And they've done nothing to change that expectation. They've had listening sessions. They've had talks. They've done all this bullshit. They've gone through all of the steps that they're required to do so that they can do what they originally planned to do on the first day. If you remember, if you've been around a long time, in 2009, they didn't want this product in the United States, so they instructed customs to seize it, to seize products from China at customs. They don't want these products in the United States. They don't want the responsibility of regulating them, but this is what they got. They tried to stop it. We sued them, and the judge said, you know what? You can't seize these shipments because these are not health products. These may be tobacco products. You can try to regulate them as tobacco products. People don't realize the judge didn't say these are tobacco products and you can regulate them as a tobacco product. He said these may be a tobacco product and you may be able to regulate them. And they ran with that. They ran with that, and we couldn't stop them because, yes, we were a bunch of upstarts, a bunch of, really uneducated people when it came to this back in 2009, 2010. So that's what we're stuck with. But should we give up? Should we roll over? Are we going to let them make our choices for us? Are we going to let them tell us what we can buy, tell us what we can eat, tell us what we can put into our bodies? I'm not down with that at all. No. This is not the time for us to lay down. We're going to be the fucking scallywags. We're gonna be the hillbilly bootleggers. We're gonna be every possible version of fuck you. Because that's what that is literally what I'm down with. They can come after me. They can't prove nothing. I don't own a company. I don't mix shit for anybody but myself. And that's all that they need to know. And you know what? They don't have the right to tell me that I can't save fucking people's lives, that people should just die, because that is what they expect. That is what they want. They want you to quit the way they choose, or they want you to fucking die, period. And none of us in this chat room, none of the people listening to this show are happy or pleased or willing to just ignore people that are gasping for air. Think about that. These people, the people that are at the end stage of COPD, the people that are, suffering from lung cancer, their body is literally doing everything that it can do to get oxygen. And the worst thing ever is standing beside someone's bed while they can't breathe, while they are quietly suffocating and gasping for air. I'm done. We're not going to fucking give up. We're not going to lay over, and we're going to do everything humanly possible to prevent that from happening to 480,000 people this year. So anyway, every Friday we always end with a powerful.
Hang on. You got me so fired up again, man. You get me all fired up. We're in the middle of COVID, damn it. We can't even be next to our loved ones when they're ill in their hospital and they're pushing people back to cigarettes.
This is what I fucking do for a living.
Yeah, no, I get it. But in the midst of COVID, they're trying to take our nicotine delivery, our form, it's helped us. They're trying to take that away in a time of stress where we're bound to our house or we're bound to these new norms, and they want to take it away. The mutiny, it's mutiny, and it's a movement, and it's the revolution's begun, man. Let's do it.
Yep.
Yeah, make it loud. Really.
I got him fired up.
Patrick, that was awesome. Thank you. I'm out. I appreciate you guys. Thanks
Go and hug those kids. Go and kiss your wife. All the people in the chat room, do the same. If your significant other is there, plant a big wet one Go and hug your kids and remember that family is important, whether they're in the house with you or they're 1,000 miles away. This is your time. This weekend, relax, chill out, barbecue, have a beer, have some fun, because Monday we're doing all this shit over again, and it's not going to let up anytime soon. So be good. Love you guys, and we'll see you in 7 days. Bye.
I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
We're exporting a whole lot of really bad and dangerous rhetoric, bad research, and unfortunately it's being picked up and amplified in other countries.
It's the same battle, Mr. Myers. We've been at it before. They want to addict these kids, this time to an e-cigarette, which has a chemical that's addictive. We know what it leads to. Sadly, it leads to tobacco addiction, disease, and death.
I'm going to get you addicted to nicotine. I have a customer for life. We have hundreds of cases nationwide where people have gotten sick or died using these devices.
Look what they're trying to do. All the delicious flavors of e-cigarettes are poison.
They're not people giving up smoking. They're not people that ever smoked before. Most people that vape never smoked before. Just think if your kid was doing this and winds up with an IQ 10 or 15 points lower than he or she would have had for the rest of her life.
Addiction is being fueled by kid-friendly flavors and kid-friendly cool marketing. It is outrageous that these companies specifically market their bad products to kids. Today, right now, it would appear the wildfire of e-cig use among teenagers, high schoolers, middle schoolers has not let up.
There is a moral panic over it.
There is a moral panic.
And they can't find anything wrong with it, so they're hell-bent to find something.
We're worried that, in fact, a lot of members of the public still think that using an e-cigarette is as harmful as smoking a cigarette. I mean, I have said that it would be tragic if smokers didn't quit and carried on smoking because they hadn't tried an e-cigarette, because they were worried about the safety of an e-cigarette.
The most disheartening thing is still the anti-choice rhetoric, the desire to enforce this quit or die mentality and refuse to allow individuals to reduce their risk unless they're willing to give up everything.
I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.